Hi, this is Kosher Grandchild from the Grandchild Law Group. I want to welcome you to our weekly Q&A session. Today I have Emma Garrido from our firm who focuses on U visas, and we're going to talk about U visas and the one most important thing you can do to get your case approved and to avoid a denial. So Emma, what makes you so passionate about U visas?
Well, the great thing about U visas is that you're helping people that have been victims of violent crimes. And while violent crimes, if that happens to anyone, it's a really horrible thing. But the silver lining is that, there is a chance that they could be eligible for an immigration benefit. And in the case of a U visa, it can lead to a green card or a lawful permanent residency.
Absolutely. And what is so wonderful about this visa as well is that we see people here who would otherwise be ineligible for relief because they have so many legal entries. Mm-hmm. And this is able to help someone who may be married to a U.S. citizen, may have U.S. citizen children, but because they have 2 illegal entries after 1997, they're subject to a permanent bar, unable to get relief. And this U visa could help that person because unfortunately, we don't have any immigration reform at the moment.
That's exactly right. I mean, the U visa is very forgiving. The whole policy base is on, the United States wants to help people that have been victims of violent crimes and they're now cooperating and helping law enforcement agencies. And that's why it's so forgiving, even for people that have multiple unlawful entries, where otherwise they wouldn't have a waiver for that.
Absolutely. It's a great humanitarian program. So what do you see that people or firms could do to improve the odds of getting approval, or what's the biggest mistake in preparing a U visa application?
Well, I think the biggest mistake would be not including enough supporting documentation. So with the U visa, it's more than just a form that you fill out. Like I'm sure you've talked about in other videos, a lot of immigration applications, it's more than just a form. And the same with the U visa, it's really about the supporting documentation. So what we mean by that is really showing how the client meets all of the elements. And one of the important elements is showing that this person experienced substantial abuse or substantial harm. And that can be shown by, visiting a therapist, having that therapist or counselor write a very detailed letter describing how that person was affected by this violent crime. Exactly.
Can you also talk about not only the documents but the declaration and how that fits into all of the supporting documentation? And you brought up a valid point that sometimes people think it's just a form, and sometimes we'll even have people come into our office and say, just complete this form. And we have to explain to them that we're not going to just complete the form. We have to do much more than that because we have to demonstrate the substantial injury. Mm-hmm. So please talk about the declaration.
Yeah, the declaration is really important. It's really important to work with the client, have them feel comfortable with you while they're telling you the story about how they experienced this crime and, what happened when the police arrived. How did they help? How were they injured? And everything leading up to the incident is important as well. It's really important to get a detailed declaration, not just one page. We really want to go in depth and fully describe the incident, what happened before and after as well.
Awesome. That was great, Emma. So now, what would you say is the most important aspect or most important factor in a case? Would you say that's also the declaration?
I would say so. I think the declaration in combination with letters from witnesses, letters from friends and family showing how they have seen this person affected by the crime, I think it's just really the totality of the whole application.
Absolutely. And that's where the law firm can really work with the client and assess each case, because each case is different. And we see all different kinds of situations, from someone who was beaten over the head to someone who was rob but still face substantial injury. And it's the attorney working with the client to come up and look at their documents and evaluate their police report and put all of that together and tell their story to the first step and with the police, and then after that, after getting the police certification, filing with the USCIS.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Emma, for your insights. Really appreciate your time today. And we want to thank our viewers for taking their time out of their busy schedule to watch our Q&A. And I invite you to contact our office at 916-613-3553 if you have questions. We answer questions like this all day long. And I want to acknowledge the fact that just by watching this video, you're bettering yourself, because you're trying to better yourself by obtaining legal status. And by doing that, you're bettering your family. And by bettering your family, you're bettering your country. Thank you, and until next week. Click on the pictures above that best describes the service you're seeking. I'm attorney Kaushik Rancha with the Ranchild Law Group. Whether you're trying to determine the type of visa or green card you qualify for, or just need tips on what to look for in hiring an immigration attorney, we have the answers. My team of professionals is comprised of many immigrants, and we understand how complex the process can be on your own. Give my office a call today for a free consumer's guide on hiring an immigration attorney.